Yeah, Radha Perimati, whenever you're ready, you can start, Mati.
Okay, Prakash, thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Danvat Pranam, Guru Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskutya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 8, The Narayana Kavacha Shield. Prabhuji, text 36 onwards we have to read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, from 34, Mati, 34 to end of the chapter, Mati.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Here we are reading text 34. Prahlad Maharaj loudly chanted the holy name of the Lord Narasimhadev. May Lord Narasimhadev, roaring for his devotee Prahlad Maharaj, protect us from all fear of dangers created by stalwart leaders in all directions through poisons, weapons, water, fire, air, and so on. May the Lord cover their influence by his own transcendental influence. May Narasimhadev protect us in all directions and all corners, above, below, within, and without. Text 35. Vishwarupa continued, O Indra, this mystic armor related to Lord Narayana has been described by me to you. By putting on this protective covering, you will certainly be able to conquer the leaders of the demands. Text 36. If anyone employs this armor, whomever he sees with his eyes or touches with his feet is immediately freedom from all the above mentioned dangers. Text 37. This prayer, Narayana Kavacha, constitutes subtle knowledge transcendently connected with Narayana. One who employs this prayer is never distributed or put in dangers by the government, by plunderers, by evil demons, or by any type of disease. Text 38. O King of Heaven, a Brahmana named Kaushika formerly used this armor when the purposely gave up his body in the desert by mystic power. Text 39. Surrounded by many beautiful women, Chitraratha, the king of Gandharva was once passing in this airplane over the Brahmana's body at the spot where the Brahmana had died. Text 40. Suddenly, Chitraratha was forced to fall from the sky heart first with his aeroplane. Struck with wonder, he was ordered by the great sages named the Valikhilias to throw the Brahmana's bones in the nearby river Saraswati. He had to do this and bathe in the river before returning to his own abode. Text 41. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, My dear Maharaja Parikshit, one who employs this armor or hears about it with faith and veneration, with afraid because of any conditions in the material world, is immediately freedom from all dangers and is worshipped by all living entity. Text 42. King Indra, who performed 100 sacrifice, received these prayers of protection from Vishwarupa. After conquering the demons, they enjoyed all the opulence of three worlds. The ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of 6th Canto, 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled The Narayana Kavacha Shield. Thank you so much, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you so much, Radha Permati. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Vamshwani Prabhu, when you're ready, you can start, Prabhuji.
Share my screen. Okay, I'll just start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Sunandas Prabhuji and Vrinda Kumari for giving this opportunity to purify myself by studying Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are continuing the prayers or the um, Narayana Kavacha teachings of Vishwarup to Indra. The last couple of days, on Monday, we saw the pretext of this and why this set of prayers were given to Indra and what were the motivations of Indra and what lessons we can learn from that. And then yesterday, we started the Narayana Kavacha prayers. And in continuation of that, we are reading the last prayer in text 34, where it states, Prahlad Maharaj loudly chanted the holy name of Lord Narasimhadev. May Lord Narasimhadev, roaring for his devotee Prahlad Maharaj, protect us from all fears of dangers created by stalwart leaders in all directions through poison, weapons, water, fire, air, and so on. May the Lord cover their influence by his own transcendental influence. May Narasimhadev protect us in all directions and in all corners, above, below, within, and without. So all these set of prayers indicate the glorification of chanting the holy name. So we see here that Prahlad Maharaj loudly chanted the holy name of Lord Narasimhadev. We see even the six Goswamis in the Shad Goswami Ashtakam, where Srila Srinivas Acharya mentions Krishno Utkirtana Ganana Natapar. Utkirtana means loud chanting. Even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Haridas Thakur encourage everyone to chant loudly. Of course, when devotees are around, we need to be a little sensitive, not disturb their chanting. But this loud chanting, one sadhu he mentions, why this loud chanting? Why not softly chant? Yes, soft chanting is good for private chanting. But when we are loudly chanting, because our mind goes here and there, when we loudly chant Hare Krishna, our mind is forced to hear it. This is what our acharyas mention. Our mind is forced to hear the holy name. Because if I silently chant, unless and until we are very, very advanced, it's very difficult to chant very silently and keep our mind focused on the holy name. Very difficult, right? So that is why it is always recommended. Prabhupada also, if we read all his books, Prabhupada recommends to chant loudly and have back erect. Right? Always we hear in the in his japa chanting, he always says sit straight and then chant loudly. Right? Loud chanting is for that reason, where we can hear the holy name, because Krishna's holy name and Krishna are non-different. So that's why loud chanting is very important. And Prahlad Maharaj did that. He loudly chanted the holy name of Lord Narasimha Dev. And it's very interesting that if you see the translation word by word, there is probably no mention of loud, right? And the other reason why Prahlad Maharaj chants loudly is when a pure devotee is in complete love with Krishna, they are chanting in separation. When a devotee is in separation of Krishna, they cannot remain quiet. Right? We see so many throughout the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, throughout the pages of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, all the literatures that our acharyas have given, in separation, a devotee can cry out for Krishna. And when a devotee cries out for Krishna in separation, we cannot just remain quiet and chant. We saw we will see even in the seventh canto, when Prahlad Maharaj, all his ecstasies are mentioned, what kind of ecstasies he went through. And that time he's chanting loudly, dancing like a madman, having tears in his eyes, right? So this is the nature of a pure devotee. And may such Lord Narasimhadev, roaring for his devotee Prahlad Maharaj, protect us from all dangers created by stalwart leaders in all directions through poison, weapon, water, fire, and so on. We sing, right? Ito Narasimha, Parato Narasimha, Yato Yato Yami, Tato Narasimha. Let Lord Narasimhadev protect us from within and without. From within as Krishna, and without. Prabhupada explains this. Krishna is within as Paramatma and without as spiritual master. So Krishna is always there in all directions. Throughout the length and breadth, Krishna is there within this universe. Let him protect us in the form of Sri Narasimhadev. That is why Srila Prabhupada introduced the prayers of Sri Narasimhadev. I think many years back I heard few years ago, but many years ago, apparently Mayapur Dham was attacked by some local bandits, and in order to protect the devotees and temple, Srila Prabhupada requested the devotees to chant in all ISKCON temples uh, prayers to Lord Narasimhadev. And in text 35, Vishwarup continued, O Indra, this mystic armor related to Lord Narayana has been described by me to you. By putting on this protective covering, you will certainly be able to conquer the leaders of the demons. So this is also a lesson for us, right? So Vishwarup is telling as Guru to Indra that you chant this Narasimha Kavacha prayer. And if you chant this, you will not be disturbed by demoniac association of this world. We are also always surrounded by demoniac association. Always. Unless and until we are among devotees and in the temple area or somewhere at home, it's always, as soon as we get out, it's all demoniac association. Right? Anyone who's against the principles of dharma, which is ultimately to come to the point of surrendering to Krishna is a demon, according to the pages of Bhagavad Gita, right? Anyone who's not worshipping the Supreme Lord is demoniac, whoever it may be, whichever part it may be, even from India. Doesn't matter what country we are from. If one employs his armor, whoever he sees with his eyes or touches with his feet is immediately freed from all above mentioned dangers. Very powerful. We don't understand the potency of the mantra that we are chanting every day, the Maha Mantra. This prayer, Narayana Kavacha, constitutes subtle knowledge, transcendently connected with Narayana. One who employs this prayer is never disturbed or put in danger by the government, by plunderers, by evil demons, or any type of disease. Or the Falashruti is given. What is the effect of chanting the Narayana Kavacha prayers? And for us, it is mainly the Hare Krishna mantra. O King of Heaven, a Brahmana named. So now the Falashruti was explained. Now an example is given. A Brahmana named Kaushika formerly used this armor when he purposely gave up his body in the desert by mystic power. Surrounded by a beautiful woman, Chitraratha, the king of Gandharva Loka, was once passing an aeroplane over the Brahmana's body at the spot where the Brahmana had died. So he had the armor, but the Brahmana had already died. What happened? Suddenly, Chitraratha was forced to fall from the sky head first with his airplane. Struck with wonder, he was wondering what happened. He was ordered by the great sages named the Valikilayas to throw the Brahmana's bones in a nearby river Saraswati. He had to do this and bathe in the river before returning to his own abode. This was the effect. The Brahmana had already died, but because of the armor, we saw, right? It was so powerful that it dragged the airplane down, defied all gravity. Right? So now Srila Sukadeva Goswami is saying, my dear Parikshit, one who employs his armor or hears about it with faith and veneration, when afraid because of any conditions in the material world, is immediately freed from all dangers and is worshipped by all living entities. Whenever we are in danger, we have to immediately chant Hare Krishna. That is why Prabhupada says, always chant Hare Krishna. Always you have to keep chanting Hare Krishna, because Bhagavatam explains it's not whenever we are in danger. This material world is always dangerous. Padam padam yad vipadam na tesham. Bhagavatam explains every step is a danger in this world. Padam padam yad vipadam na tesham. So in order for us to be free from this dangerous situation in this world, chanting the holy names is the only way for us to be anxiety free of all the dangers. Otherwise, we will be full of anxiety and afraid of something or the other. Either of our body or our mind or the people around us will make us always be in anxiety. So in order to be free from anxiety, the only way is to keep chanting the holy name. My spiritual master once he explained that when Lord Ramachandra was actually, all of us are aware of the past time where his Vanara soldiers helped him to build a bridge across the ocean, and when they actually put giant stones, and the giant stones had to float, right? And then Lord Ram's name was engraved on it. And then because of that, the stones were floating. So my spiritual master explains that every step on the stone is danger. But because the holy name of the Supreme Lord was written, the dangers were vanquished and they were able to step on the stones and pass over the ocean. That is the power of the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Even the most dangerous situation can be vanquished. And text 42 is the purport for us to meditate upon today. Srila Prabhupada writes such a wonderful purport. King Indra, who performed 100 sacrifices, received this prayer of protection from Vishwarup. After conquering the demon, he enjoyed all opulences of the three worlds. Purport by Abhay Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This mystical mantric armor given by Vishwarup to Indra, the king of heaven, acted powerfully with the effect that Indra was able to conquer the Asuras and enjoy the opulence of the three worlds without impediments. So we discussed on Monday, right? What was the motive of Indra to get this Narayana Kavacha prayer? His motive was not to purify himself and get closer to Lord Vishnu. No. His motive was to again regain his opulence. Holy name and Krishna reciprocate to the degree or based on our intentions. So that is why our intentions while chanting the holy name is very important. What is my intention? Is my intention is to get free from disease? Is my intention is to get relieved of my problems? Or is our intention is to uh, uh, get the mercy of Krishna to attain bhakti? What is our intention? We should always remind ourselves. Whatever intention with which we pray to Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate with that intention. Right? Holy name is all powerful. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu prays, Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Statra Arpita Niyamite Na Smarane Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Ihajanina Anuraga. Oh Krishna, your holy name has so much potency, but I have no attraction towards the holy name. I have developed no taste towards chanting the holy name Krishna. How unfortunate I am. So we should pray to Krishna with the right intention. Holy name is a prayer. Sometimes we forget. It's actually a prayer. Holy name is a prayer. So when we are chanting, we can simply pray. Prabhupada taught us how to pray. Right? Simply pray while chanting the holy names with the right intention. And Srila Madhvacharya points out that one must receive all kinds of mantras from a bona fide spiritual master. Otherwise, the mantras will not be fruitful. Yes, Prabhupada writes in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the holy name or the Mahamantra can act independently. But because we are all materially conditioned, the spiritual master comes as a representative of Krishna. He is an expansion of Paramatma, external manifestation of Paramatma. Spiritual master is not an ordinary personality, and he is not one personality. Krishna comes in different manifestations according to the nature of a particular devotee. And Guru is a tattva. It's not a person. Guru is a tattva. But Krishna comes in different ways to deliver a specific devotee according to their needs and their inclination. And who is such a person? Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita. How to identify why we should approach such a person, Krishna explains in the 4th chapter. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashrena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because he has seen the truth. That is the most important point Prabhupada will highlight. All mantras should be received through authorized guru, and the disciple must satisfy the guru in all respects after surrendering at his lotus feet. In Padma Purana, it is also said, Sampradaya Vihina ye mantraste nishfala mata. There are 4 sampradayas or disciplic successions, namely the Brahma Sampradaya, where ISKCON, which is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, the Rudra Sampradaya, the Sri Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. All these are mentioned in Padma Purana. There is a reference that these are the 4 acharyas through whom the divine transcendental knowledge will be dissipated into this material world. If one wants to advance in spiritual power, one must receive his mantras from one of these bona fide sampradayas. You see how Srila Prabhupada is never saying Gaudiya Sampradaya is the only way. Never. Of course, there are differences between the sampradayas and the mood of worship towards different expansions of Krishna or Krishna ultimately. But the ultimate aim of all four sampradayas is to develop bhakti. So we have to receive the mantra from one of these sampradayas. Prabhupada says, otherwise we will never successfully advance in spiritual life. Right? In the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there is a verse. Ya Shastra Vidim Utsrijya. I forgot the verse. The essence of that verse is, if we don't take the injunctions of the Shastra and don't follow them, we will never have happiness or peace in this life or the next life. In summary, I'm just paraphrasing it. So we need to take this. Prabhupada says sometimes the statement of the Vedas are inconceivable. And when the statements of the Shastras inconceivable, we should accept it. We should not challenge it. Prabhupada says that. We should humbly accept it and move on. Move forward with it. If you keep challenging it with logic and argument, hey, I don't need a guru, I don't need this, I can chant by myself, I can chant some mantra, everything is the same. This is all logic and argument. We will be in logic and argument for millions of lifetimes. Our acharyas say. With logic and argument, we cannot understand Krishna. And the holy name will not have the potency. And we will see in from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as a devotee to show everything in practice. Whatever we are reading in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed in practice. Prabhupada writes in one purport, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is most merciful than any incarnation, including Krishna. Well, he is Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. But Srila Prabhupada writes he is even more magnanimous. Why? Because Lord Sri Krishna, he told Sarvadharman Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja. Give up everything and surrender unto me, and he left. But the same Krishna, he thought, well, I have told everyone to surrender, but I have not showed them how to surrender. So let me go again. Let me descend again. This is one of the external reasons for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to descend. And that is why Srila Rupa Goswami, he prays, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe. It's the most magnanimous incarnation because he is coming and he is showing us how to be a devotee. So once when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the South India tour, Mahaprabhu's way of preaching and captivating the mind of anyone and everyone is unparalleled. And when he was in South India, he was practically going everywhere and making everybody chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and empowering them to go and preach the glories of the holy name. Mahaprabhu never said that, okay, you chant and you be at home and you just discuss among yourself. He said, you chant the holy names and everyone, because they directly received the holy name from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they saw, because he's Krishna himself, everyone became so ecstatic and they started going and passing the glories of holy name to everyone. Thus, it is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that many cities and villages became Krishna conscious in South India. And Mahaprabhu was going and defeating, if anybody was speaking with logic and argument, according to time, place and circumstance, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will defeat them. So once what so happened, when the non-believers heard of the erudition of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they came to him with great pride, bringing their disciples with them. One of them was a leader of a Buddhist cult and was a very learned scholar. To establish the 9 philosophical conclusions of Buddhism, he came before the Lord and began to speak. Although the Buddhists are unfit for discussion, and should not be seen by Vaishnavas, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to them just to decrease their false pride. See, Krishna, uh, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he knows when to be humble and when to actually crush the pride of the opponent. We often hear, right? Krishna can be soft as a rose and hard as a thunderbolt. Krishna's lotus feet is uh, soft as a lotus for the Vrajavasis, but it can be hard as a thunderbolt for Kaliya. So Mahaprabhu wanted to decrease the false pride of the Buddhists. So what he did, the scriptures of the Buddhist cult are chiefly based on just mundane argument and logic. They contain 9 chief principles. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated the Buddhists in their argument, they could not establish their cult. So Srila Prabhupada in that purport explains what are the 9 principles that Buddhists generally follow and why they are actually flawed. We should actually read that. It's very nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada. The teacher of the Buddhist cult set forth the 9 principles, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke them to pieces with strong logic. And Prabhupada writes that sometimes when we come across, we are not voluntarily going for a debate with somebody, but when we are trying to approach somebody to give them the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, sometimes we may get opposition and some kind of argumentative, what to say, debates. We are not wantingly going, but Srila Prabhupada is saying if such a situation occurs, we must actually try to logically make them understand. That is our duty as members of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada writes, we should not remain silent. Prabhupada writes, it's not that we want to get a fight with them and try to show that we are so great. That is not our mood. Our mood is to show the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All mental speculators and learned scholars were defeated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and when the people began to laugh, the Buddhist philosophers felt both shame and fear. The Buddhists could understand that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a Vaishnava, and they returned home very unhappy. Later, however, they began to plot against the Lord. Having made their plot, the Buddhists brought a plate of untouchable food before Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and called it Mahaprasadam. Prabhupada writes in the purport, what is an untouchable food? Untouchable food not necessarily meaning meat or something else. Srila Prabhupada explains untouchable food is something cooked by a non-Vaishnav, a Vaishnav. Any food that is cooked by a Vaishnav is untouchable for a Vaishnav. This is something very often ignored. We have to be very careful. Srila Prabhupada writes, a Vaishnav should never accept a food from an Vaishnav but sometimes for the sake of preaching, we'll have to deal with some new people who are showing some interest. But as long as that food is offered to Krishna, that is acceptable. Otherwise, a food cooked, Prabhupada even writes, he may be extremely clean, he may be a complete vegetarian, but still we should never accept because it is not offered to Krishna and a Vaishnav cannot offer to Krishna. Why? Srila Prabhupada writes in that purport, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo Me Bhaktya Prayachati. Only a Bhakta can offer to Krishna with devotion. Because a Vaishnava is not, he or she doesn't know how to offer to Krishna. So we should never accept unless it is a circumstance where for preaching purpose, Prabhupada writes, and that also needs to be offered by a devotee. When the contaminated food was offered to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a very large bird appeared on the spot and picked up the plate in its beak and flew away. My spiritual master explains that large bird could be Garuda. Indeed, the untouchable food fell upon the Buddhists, okay, and the large bird dropped the plate on the head of the chief Buddhist teacher, and when it fell on his head, it made a big sound. The plate was made of metal, and when its edge hit the head of a teacher, it cut him, and the teacher immediately fell to the ground unconscious. When the teacher fell unconscious, his Buddhist disciples cried aloud and ran to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for shelter. So all the disciples, seeing their leader fall down, they go and surrender to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what does Mahaprabhu do? They all prayed to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, addressing him as a supreme personality of Godhead himself and saying, Sir, please excuse our offense. Please have mercy upon us and bring our spiritual master back to life. The Lord then replied to the Buddhist disciples, You should all chant the names of Krishna and Hari very loudly near the ear of your spiritual master. See, again, loudly. We saw, right? Loudly. Prahlad Maharaj chanted loudly. Krishna Nama Uchchakari. Loud chanting. Mahaprabhu likes loud chanting. By this method, your spiritual master will regain his consciousness. Following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advice, all the Buddhist disciples began to chant the holy name of Krishna congregationally. They all chanted together, loudly. When all disciples chanted the holy names Krishna, Rama, Hari, the Buddhist teacher regained consciousness and immediately began to chant the holy name of Lord Hari. When the spiritual master of the Buddhists began to chant the holy name of Krishna and submitted to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people who were there were astonished. And this is the purport that I wanted to study in connection with today's understanding from Srimad Bhagavatam. Because the Buddhist teacher also started chanting because he heard from the disciples. We will see what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada writes in the purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada comments that all Buddhist disciples were actually initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu into the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. And when they chanted, they actually became different persons. They were no longer Buddhists. At that time, they were not Buddhists or atheists, but they became Vaishnavas. This is the first qualification. If somebody asks who is a Vaishnava, anybody who's chanting the holy name at once becomes a Vaishnava. This is a praman for this. Consequently, they immediately accepted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. Their original Krishna consciousness was revived. And they were immediately able to chant the Hare Krishna and begin worshipping the Supreme Lord Vishnu. In the spirit, it is the spiritual master who delivers the disciple from the clutches of Maya by initiating him into the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is what we read in today's purport that Srila Prabhupada writes, we need to receive from a guru. In this way, a sleeping human being can revive his consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In other words, the spiritual master awakens the sleeping living entity to his original consciousness so that he can worship Lord Vishnu. This is the purpose of Diksha or initiation. Diksha or initiation means receiving pure knowledge of spiritual consciousness. Diksha means to receive transcendental knowledge from Guru. Pure transcendental knowledge from Guru. That's Diksha. One point to note in this regard is that the spiritual master of the Buddhists did not initiate in his disciples. He was just called Guru, but he did not actually had initiated his disciples. Rather, his disciples were initiated by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How fortunate they were. And they in turn were able to initiate their so-called spiritual master. They were able to initiate. And Prabhupada writes, what is Parampara system? This is Parampara system. Because the disciples were not initiated by their Guru, but they got initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they in turn went and initiated their so-called Guru. The so-called spiritual master of the Buddhists was actually in the position of a disciple. And after his disciples were initiated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they acted as his spiritual masters. This was possible only because the disciples of the Buddhist Acharya received the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unless one is favored by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the disciplic succession, one cannot act as a spiritual master. We should take the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the spiritual master of the whole universe, to understand how one becomes a spiritual master and a disciple. Hare Krishna. So, we see from this purport that Srila Prabhupada is writing that we must receive a mantra from a bona fide guru in a parampara system. And when such mantra is received, it has divine potency. And we are also, at least I'm so unqualified to have this opportunity to chant the holy names received through disciplic succession, right? Because even in Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada writes, if you see in the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada writes in the preface or introduction, I don't remember where, probably in the introduction, Srila Prabhupada shows the parampara system, the disciplic succession here. It starts from Krishna. And we see here in number 22, the same Krishna comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And from there, the six Goswamis, all the previous acharyas, and finally Srila Prabhupada and his pure representatives who are still in this world. We are receiving the same potency of the Hare Krishna mantra from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, flowing through the parampara, through all the acharyas and the current acharyas who are still living. So we should be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada, who has given us this opportunity to chant this Hare Krishna mantra, which was chanted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we saw in this pastime. So this is the way to actually receive the Mahamantra, as stated in this verse by Srimad Bhagavatam. By chanting a mantra received in a bona fide parampara, then our spiritual journey actually begins. I'll stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so